But we did have one idea. Hey, Hugh, you want to play Wolverine one more time?
Yeah, sure, Ryan.
Have you ever been to a concert and wished that your favorite band would stop playing their not-so-good new stuff and just play the hits? Well, that's exactly what Marvel is doing with Deadpool and Wolverine. After a rough run of movies, with many saying that their Phase 5 has been disastrous, this feels like an everything but the kitchen sink attempt by the company to win back those fans who feel alienated by the new direction the company seems to be heading in. With this, you have a rock'em sock'em thrill ride that delivers fans exactly the movie they wanted to see, with nary a message to be found amidst all the charred, sliced and diced corpses our heroes leave in their wake, and it's glorious fun. So in this one, when his timeline is threatened by a rogue faction of the Time Variance Authority, Deadpool, once again played by Ryan Reynolds, hops into the multiverse to find the only man he believes can help him, Wolverine, played by Hugh Jackman, for the first time in yellow spandex. Oh yeah. To be sure, Deadpool and Wolverine's success depends on going in relatively unspoiled. Sure, the endless series of trailers have given away a lot, too much in my opinion, but the best cameos haven't been spoiled yet, and boy, are there some doozies. I went in there thinking there wasn't much that they could throw there up on screen that would surprise me, given how much I've read about it, being that it's my job to report on these kinds of things. But there were one or two cameos here that really made me cheer out loud, despite being at a press screening with not too many Marvel fanatics around me. This is the kind of movie where the public screenings are going to be rockets, and I envy anyone who gets to see this for the first time with a theater full of fans. This one's going to rival Spider-Man No Way Home in terms of fan adoration. Despite all the Easter eggs, and the movie itself really is just one big Easter egg, it's centered firmly around our two titular heroes, with this feeling less like Deadpool 3 than something else entirely. It's a buddy cop movie through the lens of the MCU, with Reynolds and Jackman, who've always been pals off screen, bringing their chemistry to the big screen under a director, Sean Levy, whom they both work with time and time again. It's clear that Levy has closely studied all the 20th Century Fox Marvel movies and has a lot of affection for them. There are some loving digs, but none of the movies they reference are trashed. Many fans have been concerned that with the Disney-Fox merger, all of their favorite Fox Marvel films will be regulated to the Semitic dust heap of history, and the film is very self-referential in that regard. It puts a button on this era and hints at a possible reset in the current MCU ideology, and for the first time in a while, it may leave even the most hardened fans excited about where things are going. Through it all, Reynolds seems like he's having a whale of a time reprising the Merc with a mouth in all of his glory. Wholly embracing the hard R rating, this is just as violent as any other film in the Deadpool saga, although the overall comic vibe does dilute the carnage somewhat. This isn't meant to be taken seriously at all, but I honestly found myself enjoying it more than the first two films, which, I must admit, I was always kind of cool on, and I certainly enjoyed it more than anything I've seen from the studio in quite some time. The thing is, Levy has a good sense of exactly how to make a movie like this. He keeps it well-paced, and at just over 2 hours, it doesn't feel too roomy. It ends before the buzz of seeing all this crazy stuff on screen wears off. So how does Hugh Jackman fare as Wolverine? Despite giving the character a perfect send-off in Logan, Jackman seems to be having so much fun going toe-to-toe with Reynolds that you really can't hold it against him wanting to return to the fold. Whether or not this is a one-off remains to be seen, but Jackman, as always, is perfect in the part and seems delighted to be there spewing off F-bombs in a way he rarely could in his Fox movies. The rest of the ensemble is solid, given how jam-packed of a movie it is, but it does suffer from an all-too-common Marvel failing. And stop me if you've heard this one before, it's that the villains are weak. Matthew McFadden's Mr. Paradox is basically a riff on his role from Succession, with him too much of a buffoon to really be taken seriously. Emma Corrin's Cassandra Nova has a dynamite look and vibe, but isn't given much time to establish any real sense of menace. The movie is just too amusing for that, with it loaded up with so many gags and needle drops that this is the closest thing Marvel has ever done to a straight-up comedy. This statement may irk some fans, but the vibe really did work for me, as it's a movie filled with so much infectious joy that Levy sometimes seems to be almost daring you not to have a good time. Fact is, he knows you're going to love what he's doing, and gosh darn it, I sure did. So do yourself a favor and skip reading any more Deadpool and Wolverine reviews until you've had the chance to see it for yourself. I'm certain that this is one MCU movie that's going to please even those fans who have totally gotten lost in the never-ending sea of Disney Plus TV shows and sequels. Again, this is Marvel playing the hits, and it's probably the most fun you're going to have watching a movie this summer, and I give it a very solid 8 out of 10.
Thank you, Kevin Feige.
Love you, Kevin Feige.